Especially
Yeah,
because
go
the
ahead.
event's
I'm giving you
tomorrow.
my donut.
This view.
Yeah. Are we recording now?
Whenever you're ready, yep.
All right, cool. Well, hold on. Actually, let me do this and make sure that I'm not gonna like have it explode all over your equipment.
That's fine because we're live streaming, so it'd be awesome if that happened.
Over your phone.
All right, here we go. Here we go. Come on, Miss Bub
I
Club.
want to hear the boop.
It's in there pretty good. Jesus.
It's cold too. It's like I don't want to come out. It's cold.
Want some help?
There it
Yeah.
is. 5 minutes later. All right.
Party
Do you
time.
want some? All right. Ming, yes?
Absolutely.
All right, cool.
Okay.
We'll just pass it around.
Okay. That donut was amazing.
I can hear the feedback of the pour in my headphones.
I
Here you go,
listened to a
Jules.
podcast that, like, that's their whole thing, and you can hear every time they refill during the recording. I'm like, so great.
Cool. All right, you just want to get started here?
Yeah. I mean,
Anytime, doesn't matter?
Anytime, yep.
Okay, cool. So, hey, my name is Marissa Sweeney, and I am here with
Hey.
Kendra Arnold.
hello.
And we are the owners of the New Jersey Veg Fest, and this podcast is called Vegan Booster Club. And Vegan Booster Club is a extension of our mission with the New Jersey Veg Fest, where we are in it to promote all the small businesses and the restaurant owners and the product developers and nonprofit leaders and community leaders and all the people really in the state of New Jersey that are really working on the ground level, I would say, of trying to make veganism and the whole plant-based movement really happen and to push it forward. So that's really the mission of our whole event, and this is really doing this podcast as an extension of it, because with each episode we'll feature one of our vendors or one of these nonprofit kind of people or community leaders or whatever. So it kind of really helps, I think, create community around them. And also, it's really actually educational for Kendra and I, because even people that are involved in our events, a lot of times the chances that we do get to talk to them is all about like logistical stuff, like putting out fires and trying to make the events work for them. And
Right.
so we don't really get the chance to talk to people that much. But so the person that we're here with today, actually, we have had the delighted experience of talking with a few times because she's a couple
Yeah.
because she's part of our team at the NJ Veg Fest, but she is also the brains and the beauty behind AP Veg Instagram account and Facebook page.
Yeah.
And her name is Jules. So thanks for being with us, Jules.
Hi.
This is awesome. And like, just so everybody knows too, we've been talking forever about drinking and doing a podcast, and here
So
we
I think
are.
our first time, right?
Yeah, and this
course.
is like episode,
It's just a
11D7,
coincidence that I'm here
whatever.
for this one.
Yeah, of course. Actually, you're the one that prompted this.
I know.
So when I asked Jules if she would do
I
this
know.
podcast, she was like, "I'll do it, but I think I'm going to need a shot beforehand." And I was like, "Well, it's Friday, and we're staying at the Asbury Hotel across the street. What a
It's gonna be
perfect
great.
time." And Ming's here drinking with us. And we should say something about Ming's amazing podcast studio, because as we sit here speaking, we're all looking at the ocean and the boardwalk.
I feel calmer. Just
I know.
looking out
It's
the-
nice and
yeah.
serene.
The calm before the storm tomorrow.
But this is
Yeah.
pretty amazing, Ming. This is really amazing.
Welcome.
Oh, you pushed the
Okay.
live video. Yeah, so everybody could see it. I took a few
Yeah.
pictures. I'll post them later on, because this is phenomenal. This is really cool.
Then we get these donuts from Vegan Treats here.
Yeah.
What a great day this
We
is.
ran over to the roastery right beforehand, and we got a bunch of vegan
Yeah.
treats. So, Jules, thanks for being with us.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
And I guess I'll start with like a fully loaded question. So tell us about AP Veg and what was the inspiration behind that? Like, what got that started?
What got that started was I was in Asbury Park a lot. I mean, as a lot of people are. And it was really, for as far as social activities, the only place I would go because it's the most music closest to me. So that's what really brought me here a lot. And then there was more and more vegan options popping up. And then I met you guys, and you had the first Asbury Park pop-up here, which was amazing. And then I think Kendra and I were talking about it, and like, you should start a group or, something just to, because there's no vegan group for Asbury Park people. And I think that was pretty much it. And I was like, okay. And it just went from there.
It's awesome. It's really blown up.
Yeah, it's fun. I like to share so people know, if they don't have the time to be scrolling through social media all day like I do, they can be like, oh, okay, I could go there for lunch and grab this, or
Yeah.
like, just kind of help people out and know what to get.
It kind of so it's before actually Kendra and me did any sort of events here. Asbury Park was already, like, at the time anyway, one of the more vegan towns, and
Right.
still I would say is one of the more vegan towns in New Jersey. So I think what you're doing on social media really kind of brings it all together and brings people's awareness, I think, to what really is here.
Yeah.
And even people from out of town too. Like,
Yeah.
there's plenty of people from out of town that are following your Instagram accounts and watching what you post and everything. And it brings light to all that.
Yeah.
In a way, there's a parallel there, even with, like, the mission that we're doing with the New Jersey Veg Fest of, like, creating community around things.
Right. Well, yeah,
Very
mean,
cool.
You guys inspired that.
You've
inspired it.
really taken the ball and run with it, though, for what it's worth, like with the whole social media account. It's really cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's, as far as with Asbury Park, it's ironic because it is a very vegan-friendly town, but yet there's not that many places. I mean, there's really not. There's Kaya's Kitchen is opening up soon, like a cafe.
What's that?
It's going to be, it's not going to be exactly like the restaurant. I think it's just going to be like a daytime place.
Oh, like a lunch brunch kind of place?
I think so.
Oh.
And
That's pretty neat.
so, and that technically would be the only % vegan place.
Is that right?
Yeah, it's like right for the taking, business owners.
Even with, yeah, seriously.
Yeah.
But even with, what's the one up on Cookman? Twisted Tree.
Oh.
Are they all vegan or
I
no?
know. No, they're not.
Oh, I
But
thought
it
maybe
is
they
good.
were. Oh my God, look at that French bulldog.
That's
cute.
this whole podcast is just me like
I know.
Marissa going, oh my god, look at that dog.
Look at all the dogs
Me
walking
too.
past me on the boardwalk. That guy with his sweater.
I know. With
He's
all the
really
sweaters.
cute. Oh. Anyway, sorry.
Oh, man.
Um,
You should have like a dog cam outside.
Especially with the sweaters today.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God, a dog in a sweater. Yeah.
Wait, here comes another one. Look at this one. Sorry.
Oh my God.
Sorry.
He's really
There's a lot of
cute.
cute
Oh my
dogs.
God, there's another
Sorry
one.
for messing you up.
Sorry.
Sorry, Jules.
Sorry, Jules. Did you come on this
We just
podcast
really like
thinking we would
dogs.
talk
We
about
really
you?
like dogs.
I could do this for the whole time.
This is really, Ming. It would be kind of funny if you got somebody on here like to podcast on the people watching that goes by your studio.
Oh my god, I would love that.
That's a pretty brilliant idea, actually.
Right,
good
that
idea.
is a brilliant
If
idea.
I
you
do
go.
say so myself. If I do say so myself.
And
Why
coming
do
up
we
on
have
the
to have
right,
so
we
many
have
great
it.
ideas?
Yeah. Oh, that's excellent.
I remember so I do think Asbury Park is probably the most vegan-friendly town in New Jersey.
Yeah, so it surprises me actually that the Kaya's Kitchen would actually be the only fully
Yeah.
vegan restaurant, because I would have thought that, like, I honestly, off the top of my head, really, I can't think of another more
Right.
vegan town than Asbury Park.
I know.
I remember before we did our first event, I came here with my friend Jim, and we went to eat someplace, and then we got some donuts to go, and I said, hey, I'm going to be right back. And I went into Crust and Crumble and ordered a pizza to go.
Yeah.
Like, because I felt like I was never going to have this opportunity again. And it was really pretty good.
Yeah. That's like when you guys first started having events.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I felt, back, like now it's, it's how it's exploding is crazy. But like those first couple of events, I'd be like, I gotta get this, I gotta get that.
I know. It's mind-blowing, right? So, like, the very rare occasion that I do really get the chance to go to an all-vegan restaurant, because, like, Asbury Park or not, like, there's not many of them.
Yeah.
Like, I almost have anxiety looking at the menu.
I know.
Because I can
Yeah.
order everything on that menu, and I'm not used to that. Like, I'm used to looking at menus, like,
You get,
over
two
and over
two
again.
or three options, and you're like, okay, this one.
Even like
Yeah.
2 or 3 options is
Yeah,
pretty
it's a
awesome.
lot.
You know,
Yeah.
like I feel like for years, maybe all the way up until recently, it was just like, oh, here's some vegetable sides and a basket of French fries, and like, hey, I put together a meal.
I know. And I'm
And-
actually okay with that. I actually really love potatoes and
I have no
vegetables.
complaints.
But
Yeah.
I sometimes have complaints.
I'll have a complaint if it's only salad. That's
Yeah.
my complaint.
And like a really boring salad. It's
I
like
feel
a
like
plate of
people
romaine.
can try a
and-
little bit harder.
Yeah.
Like, so one time we were in Atlantic City. We went to, like, I don't know, it was like a Japanese restaurant or something. I'm not really sure. It was in the Hard Rock. I mean, it was pretty fancy, to be honest. But
Oh yeah. It was in
But
the
they
Hard
didn't have
Rock?
anything
Oh,
vegan
yeah.
on their menu, and they really went out of their way to they're like, if you don't mind, we're just gonna serve you some courses, and everything was amazing.
Yeah, it was
Really?
really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, here's a guy that's just walking up to the
Yeah.
window.
Now we're famous.
Hi.
Like the people watching has turned
Yeah.
around on us now.
It's a little okay, but Asbury Park is pretty good. What's your favorite? What would you say your favorite thing to eat in Asbury Park is?
My favorite thing to eat in Asbury Park is the seitan bites from Crust and Crumble.
Really? I haven't had those.
They are just heaven in your mouth.
The only thing that I've had from Crust and Crumble is the pizza.
And it's, I mean, everything he has is good, but those seitan bites
Are like phenomenal. Oh man, I
I'm
gotta
gonna
stop
try
there.
that.
Yeah, we gotta stop there before we go home.
so good. I got those after the parade. We went there after
So
the
we're
parade.
in the parade every year. I gotta sign us up. So, but I'll go this year and get those. I can't remember I was real tired last time.
Yeah, but yeah.
We have to
Yeah.
be down here at like the crack of dawn, right, or something?
I don't think it's that early.
No, I think noon.
Oh,
Yeah.
all right, that's not too
Yeah.
bad.
I have to say the Asbury Park Parade is probably the best St. Patrick's Day parade in New Jersey, and honestly has very little to do with St. Patrick's Day. It has a lot to do with zombies and people on tall bikes and a lot of like weirdo bands in the best possible way.
not
It's
to-
really fun.
Not to toot our own horn, but last year we didn't exactly have the most elaborate setup.
Yeah.
And we still made the paper.
That's right. That's right. Who wrote that article? It might have been Alex Weiss.
No.
What did the headline say? It was something like vegans take over the parade
Yeah.
Vegetables.
or something like that. Yeah,
that was
yeah.
that was the first year. We had Mr. Peas.
That's
and
right.
like, so
We
you-
had
what happens
Hamlet
in-
the pig.
Yeah, Hamlet had to drop out because he couldn't keep up with
Yeah,
our
he
fast
couldn't.
speed.
Well, because they tell you, like,
Yeah.
stop, slow, go,
So
poor,
when you-
poor little guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So but you get to this one intersection, and I knew ahead of time that we were supposed to do something. It's like the big grandstand.
Yeah.
And I remember telling Mr. Pease and some of the guys, I was like, just seconds before we got there, I was like, you guys have to do something really weird when we get here. And they just they did some sort of like elaborate dance routine that they worked up on the spot.
Wow.
And that's how we made the front page of the Asbury Park Press.
That
And
doesn't surprise me one
Yeah.
bit, with Mr. Pease.
Mr. Pease.
That was pretty great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
So what inspired you, to back it up even more so, what inspired you to go vegan? Also fully loaded question.
I mean, plain and simple, animals.
Animals.
Animals, really just animals. I was always kind of like leaning toward it,
Yeah.
but I guess I just never really, knew how to do it or had the push to do it.
Yeah.
And then it was like 10 years ago, 11 years ago, I went vegetarian. And then, as with a lot of vegetarians, as you do some reading and so on and so forth, and, you start to learn more, your decision's kind of made for you.
Yeah.
And
Agreed.
so then I went vegan, and then on top of that, then I just learned about the health benefits and environmental benefits, and all that to me is just gravy,
I agree.
but it's definitely animals first and foremost. for
I
me.
agree 100%. That's really what drew me to it also. Like I tried, and I'm a dietitian, right? I tried to really do it for health purposes and everything like that. And you do the best you can.
Yeah.
But like if you're out at like a social situation and and if it's only driven by health and you're like, I'm just going to eat this. And it's like, and I just kind of like let it go. But like I watched Forks Over Knives, and that really kind of pushed me. I'm like,
Yes.
no, I am for sure at least going to be vegetarian. And that was maybe for like 2-3 years, and then chicken and fish started to kind of like creep back in there. And then I watched maybe a quarter of Earthlings,
Oh, I can't even.
a quarter of it, and I was like, I'm out. I cannot be a part of this. Like
That's what
I
I
cannot
say.
participate. It is so driven by animals for me too.
For the really like staunch, I hate vegan people. Who I know are nice people, like there's a few of them I know in my life, who are just hate vegans, and I just want to sit down with them. I mean, I can't watch it. I'll probably,
can't
cover my
either.
eyes, but
I
just sit
can't.
down with them as they watch it and see. And, if you can watch that and then still not have a drive, then, okay, then there's nothing really more I could say. But,
Right.
but yeah, that I can't, I've never even been able to watch one minute of that, but I didn't need to.
Yeah,
So,
honestly, yeah, and like exact same thing happened with my husband. Like I went home that day and I was just like, listen, I'm not making any decisions for you, but I saw a quarter of this movie. I was like, I know that you're not a vegan. I am a vegan now. I was just like, but this is what I'm doing. And like I could tell was getting like defensive. He's like, what do you mean? And like we're not gonna eat chicken in here anymore. I was just like, listen, I'm just making a decision for me, okay?
Yeah.
And that is it. I'm not going to drag you into it. And just me talking about the movie enough from questions that he was asking me, it was enough he didn't even see the movie, but that's enough for him.
Wow.
And he's been
Amazing.
vegan for like maybe 10 years now.
Amazing.
It's just when you make the connection,
Yep.
like when you make the connection, my personal opinion is that kind of like humanity piece of the three main reasons I would have to say people go vegan for. So it's like humanity piece, right?
Yeah.
And then there's the sustainability piece, which I think is kind of like picking up a little bit more traction as of more recently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's the health piece. It seems like the people that are really in it, and maybe somebody's going to really correct me hard if they think I'm wrong here, but like
sure.
it seems like the humanity piece is the thing that's been like driving people to go vegan for much longer, and they're much more kind of like loyal to it. Do you
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
That seems to be the biggest driver in my
Well,
opinion.
they always say, if you're a health vegan, that, you're more likely to go back to, but
Yeah.
if you're in quote unquote ethical vegan, I hate even saying that term because I feel like it's like a little holier
it's true
than thou.
though.
But
It's an ideology that's
Yeah.
behind it, right?
it is.
Whoa.
That's a keg from the restaurant.
Is that a keg, really? Wow, it's like the alcohol's calling us.
But
Yeah, because like if you're a health vegan, right, and if you're a health vegan only, you don't really care about anything else, just hypothetical. If you have like a piece of bacon like one day, it's like the worst of it is like, oh well, I cheated on my diet a little bit, but like
or
an
a brand
ethical
new
vegan,
study, a fad comes out that it's like, oh well, that makes sense.
yeah, absolutely.
You know?
But like an ethical vegan, if they cheat a little bit, like you think about the impact of that
Yeah.
outside of you,
Yeah.
and it's much so. It just seems in my kind of experience with things that the ethical vegans, I guess you could say, seem to be really in it for the long haul.
Yeah. I mean, and even, with the whole cheating, like, the quote unquote cheating, I succumb to that thinking too, but I don't like to say that just for other people who might be considering it, just because, if they're worried about cheating here or there, I don't want that to stop them from trying it.
Yeah,
Because,
I guess I kind of don't even like the thing cheating because
Yeah.
it's like it's not a test
Right.
and it's not a thing. You're just doing the best that you can
yes.
to make more compassionate choices.
Right.
Like, and if somebody somebody feeds you something with cheese in it, or like you didn't know, or like you're doing the best that you can. Of course, you shouldn't make those decisions if you can avoid it, but like,
Right.
I don't think it's cheating.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I've had that, especially in the beginning. I had that a couple times, or I went to someone's house and they were like, yeah, and, person up probably didn't know what vegan really was, but I
Yeah.
didn't know that, or a waiter or something. Best intentions, and if I later find out that it wasn't totally vegan, I mean, I'm not sitting there like trying to make myself throw up. I'm
Yeah,
just like,
no.
okay, it happened. My intention was still good.
It
and-
was
Yeah.
completely unintentional,
Yeah.
and what are you going to do? It happens every now and then.
Yeah.
This is like, maybe I shouldn't tell this story, but I'm going to.
Okay,
So
great.
this was like last week maybe, or something like
Oh,
that.
this is a pretty bad story.
I am not. I'm not
I didn't
gonna
tell you that
say-
when you told me that. I was like, it's not a big deal. When I got
Tell
through, I
it.
was like, oh my
Tell it.
God.
So this is really.
I didn't name any names.
I'm not going to name any names. But so I went to I've been kind of like really wanting to go to this like kind of newer place I won't even say the town that it's in, as to not give anything away. But they have a vegan menu and they have an Impossible Burger on there, and the way they kind of jazz up their burgers is like pretty exciting. I'm like, awesome. So I went there to get it was like an Impossible, or maybe it was a Beyond Burger, I think, and like it had all stuff on it. It was like this pretty beautiful looking burger, and I was stoked, and like fries on the side, the whole thing. And they had tempeh bacon on the menu, and I was like, yes, tempeh bacon on that burger, let's do it.
Yeah.
And they put real bacon on that burger, and I didn't realize it till like halfway through. And like I'm sitting there with my husband, and he's just like, this is real bacon. I was like, no, I ordered the tempeh bacon. You heard it. You all heard me say it. Like, it's not actual real bacon. And like, and sure enough, it was. And that's the first time that I've eaten meat like that, even though it was only like a few bites. It was the
Yeah.
first time I've eaten meat like that in over a decade, easily.
It is jarring.
And it really offset me.
Yeah.
I was really kind of it's the mind fuck, excuse my language, of like I just ate that now,
Yeah.
and it's like, oh, I just like it was really off putting. So I'm really bad at like yelling at people. So.
I'm really good at yelling at people.
And like I just don't want to. I don't know. I don't. Fox is great at it.
Yeah.
At yelling at people.
I offered to yell for
So
her.
this was like we had actually gotten it to go and everything, and like we realized like at home when we were eating it, and like Fox is just like, you got to get on the phone and tell them. So I got on the phone. I was just like, hey, just want to let you know that this mistake happened. It wasn't supposed to happen. Like I definitely ordered the tempeh bacon, and she's just like, oh, I'm sorry, that wasn't supposed to happen. And I was like, well, that's okay.
It's not
and like,
okay.
but it's not okay. But like, it's not okay. And like, I got off the phone, and my husband's like, what the fuck, man? Why didn't you say like? Why didn't you go down there and demand a refund? And like, so anyway, this is neither here nor there. That I'm bad at complaining at people. But like, yeah, it's like I'm like almost 10 years into being vegan, and something like that happens, and it really, and that's probably one of the biggest kind of unintentional like slip ups to happen like that. And it's so I guess the moral of the story is that I suppose it's bound to happen, give it enough time.
Yeah.
But it sucks.
It is jarring. I mean, I probably would fall more along the lines of your reaction, because I
can't yell at people.
Well, it's just, or like, go and blast them on social media.
Yeah.
Unless they
I
were
don't think you should do that, but I
Yeah.
said you should write a letter.
Yeah, definitely
Drop an
let
email.
them know.
Yeah. Well, I did. I mean, I did call them, and I talked to the woman that actually like took my order and everything like that. And hopefully that was enough to at least make her aware to not do that to somebody else. But
Yeah.
I don't. Maybe I should write an
It
email.
is
I
kind of
don't
weird.
know.
I mean, it's weird that they
try
have a
one of these
vegan
black
menu.
and white
You're
donuts.
ordering everything off the vegan menu, and then they would put real bacon on. Like at some point, 3 different people should have been like, "Is this order right?"
There was
'Cause it
literally
doesn't make
two
any
sides.
sense.
There was
Yeah.
literally 2 sides of the menu. Like one side of the menu is
And it sounds like you made a
non-vegan,
big
and then
deal about the
other one
vegan
is-
cheese. I'm still mad about this.
Yeah.
Was
Yeah.
there vegan cheese?
There was
Yeah.
vegan cheese. Everything about that burger was vegan. I
Yeah,
got the
that's
vegan
weird.
bun. I got the vegan cheese. I asked for the tempeh bacon. The burger itself was vegan. Everything was
That
fucking
is
vegan.
weird. That
But
is
like they put
weird.
real bacon on it. Why on earth would anybody want that?
That is weird. That is weird.
Nobody wants that.
Nobody wants that.
Nobody's got
So
time
even
for
like
that.
later on that day, like I'm on the phone with Kendra, and it's like at night. Like this was for lunch, so this was like it was 6 to 8 hours later or something like that. And Kendra's walking by this place, and she's just like, "You want me to go in and yell at them?" And I'm like, "No, no, I
I
appreciate
didn't,
it,
but I am
appreciate it."
available to yell anytime. I don't think I would yell. I would just let them know that it was very wrong.
Yeah, I can't. To be honest, I can't picture you yelling either. I could picture you sternly telling them,
I've seen
But-
Kendra yell. You can have a stern talking to.
When
to
was I
people.
yelling? I don't think
There's no
that's true.
specific time in my head, but like I feel like
I think there's a couple times, but I can't remember what I was yelling about.
I feel like you have a shorter fuse than I do.
I don't know that it's a shorter fuse. It can go for like a year and a half of like people's bullshit kind of stuff. And then all of a sudden I'm like, that is it. Like, I cannot listen to this anymore. And that's when I'll like, I will lose it.
I have told you this many, many times, and I will tell you again that your patience level, though, in dealing with the public, like
Oh my
on
God.
social media,
Is insane.
Yeah.
is
That's
very
right. I'm
commendable.
really good at it.
I even said
But
that. I
it's-
literally
it's a
said that
lot.
to her today. Also,
It's a lot to like, because people can be really mean.
Just mean.
Every now and then, like somebody leaves something really, really crappy, like this hateful shit about how awful we are and our events are awful and we're awful people and we should all die. It's like really horrible stuff.
It's not very
and then
vegan, to be
Kendra,
honest.
yeah,
No,
it's not
it's
very
not.
vegan. It's not very compassionate. And Kendra will answer like,
Call me.
Thank you. Yeah. She's like,
Here's my
thank
number."
you. Thank you for sharing your opinion. I would love to hear more about it. Here's
Well,
my phone number.
Here's what's weird. Is
I
like,
would be like, you can go fuck yourself, and I would block them.
So like,
But that's not the way
you
to handle
sometimes
it.
have to take like a minute or 5 hours before you say that. But sometimes you can get on the phone with people who are really mad at you, and they'll give you some really good advice at the end.
Let's ask you this: how many of the people actually take you up on it?
I would say like 30%.
Okay.
Like the other people just kind of disappear.
Yeah.
But like there was one time a guy had some complaints about one of our events, and it was pretty mean. Like I think sometimes people think we're like a big company instead of like just two idiots.
Yeah.
And like And they can be really mean. Like, we're a big corporation, came in and ruined everything, and we're really just like,
I know.
we just, made something on
Two idiots.
Canva and like
Yeah.
threw it out there. And like, and so, but I got on the phone with this one guy, and I want to say exactly what he was talking about, but he talked to me, I would say, for a good 3 hours on the phone. And I didn't agree with everything he said, but he gave me a lot of really good insights. And then I never really heard from him again. But
This
it was
is,
like,
this is why Kendra handles
and
the
it
customer
really
service.
kind of like he did give me a lot of really good advice.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty amazing. I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot from you about
Thanks.
that. Yeah.
Thanks. And
I
then I
have.
just drink a lot.
I don't even engage. If someone says something negative on, Instagram, I mean, I just don't even answer it.
Me either.
I'm just like, no.
It's not going to go well. It's just not going to go well. Like, I don't want to get in a back and forth with some asshole. I just don't.
Yeah.
Kendra's great at it.
I kind of won't get him back and forth either, but I'll try to like, sometimes you can figure out what they're really mad about. Like,
Well, and it's different because you're also a business owner,
Yeah.
So it's a different angle. I mean,
Right.
mine's kind of just, so I don't really have
It
to.
is weird. Like, people will
Yeah.
get mad at you and say really mean things, and it turns out they're like mad about something else that you didn't even know about. And
You're really good at taking it off the public forum.
I would like to take it offline if possible.
Yeah,
'cause
you're like, get
that's-
on the phone with me and let's have a real conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's when people, I think, like,
Back
getting all
down.
like, yeah, they back down a
Because
little
you
bit.
can't hide
'Cause you're-
behind-
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's
But
really
there's like
true.
some people who don't want to get on the phone, and you've kind of asked them to do that. Then we'll get back to Asbury Park. But like there's one lady in particular that a couple like I would say over a year ago, and it really stuck with me that she was really wanting me to do something, and I was like, well, let's get on the phone. And she wouldn't get on the phone with me, and he was like, why? Is that you're going to do what I want if I get on the phone with you? And I was like, let's, talk about what's going on. And then she told me nobody liked me.
That sounds like some middle school stuff.
And I guess I did get a little upset about that, because I was like, Marissa likes me, my mom, there's a lot of people.
I will call my mom right now.
Yeah.
Guarantee she says
Yeah.
she likes me.
That just sounds like a middle school fight. Nobody
Yeah,
likes you.
That's
but
like-
it was really weird because she really like poked me, and I was like, screw you.
I mean-
like, I didn't say that, but that's kind of what it was like.
Social media fights are like that. Middle
You're right.
You know?
Social media fights are like that. They
Yeah.
really are.
Anyhow, that's not, this is not very vegan. So.
Yeah, no, but that's all right.
We're just human.
Back
We're
So-
just humans, man.
back
We're
to,
just
um,
humans.
yeah.
Sorry, I'm burping because I'm drinking prosecco. But back to a point that you had made about how like there are some people that like get really kind of bent out of shape and like they get real like heated and kind of like in your face and like cannot wait to argue you about like your veganism.
Yeah.
You know who's one of those? And this is going to cause some debates.
Are you going to name
Oh.
somebody?
Well, a famous person.
Oh, okay.
I was
So,
like,
do you
oh.
guys, speaking of podcasts, do you guys listen to the Joe Rogan podcast at all?
No.
I don't.
He brings Ming, you must, right? He brings a lot of people on his podcast to talk to have like pretty heavy debates about like vegan versus not.
Well, that game
Fairly
changer debate
often.
got pretty. The debate
That got some
with
traction with like Veg News I saw and
with a
everything.
lot. Yeah, like just even regular
Yeah.
people.
Yeah. And like it seems to me, and I'm making a connection here that I don't know a whole lot about, especially in particular to him. It's just an example that came to my head, him. But it seems like I think people that kind of take you to the mat about it, like people that really want to have the argument, are probably the people that are really considering it the most. Because otherwise, why is it even a thought on their head? Like,
Right.
why is it even something that you're allowing to take up space in your brain? If it, for some way, in some how is like it's somewhere way back here, like people are thinking about how there must be some level of of it being the right thing to do.
Well, I think you're absolutely correct. And the whole game changer phenomenon has been really incredible because, and this ties into Joe Rogan, but I have a good friend who was pretty much not, oh, I hate vegans, but just, I don't think that it's right for the body and this and that. And, I'll have an intelligent debate with you, but like would debate me till, hours later, like where I'd be like, oh my God, I don't even have time for this right now, you
Yeah.
know? But so this, I mean, I never would have thought this person would try vegan or, try plant-based diet. And he's a chef too. Saw Game Changers and just all of a sudden called me up and was like, oh, guess what? I think I'm going to try plant-based. And I'm like,
Mind blowing.
Mind blown. And then he listened to when I guess Joe Rogan had the producer of Game Changers on, who was debating the guy who was,
I forget his name, but I know the podcast episode you're talking about.
yeah, basically defending the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, he held his own. He's like, everything made sense. And he's like, it just seems like common sense now.
Yeah.
And I haven't talked to him, so I don't know if he's still on it or not, but it was pretty amazing. And I had a couple people after that who told me that Game Changers, I mean, it's really pretty amazing. I would recommend that everybody gets people in their life to watch it, because especially
agree.
men, because it seems to really be hitting a chord with men. By the way, cheap plug, Dean's and Ocean on February 27th is going to be doing a free viewing of Game Changers.
Oh,
And,
cool.
Yeah, there's going to be like free vegan snacks. There'll be a vegan buffet for $10
Oh,
if
neat.
you want some
Do you know what
food.
the time is?
Yeah, it's at 7.
Sometime in the
She's just
evening.
like, I don't know.
6 or 7. Let me look
Well,
it
I'm
up
sure
and I'll get
people
back to you.
can go to their website.
Yeah, it's
or
on
to
my
their-
page. It's on their page.
Oh, go to AP Veg. If anybody, if everybody, or if somebody's listening to this and they're not following AP Veg, they should be. So what's the actual Instagram handle? Is it like AP_Veg?
Yeah, AP_Veg.
And what's Facebook?
Facebook, the page is AP Veg, and the Facebook group is Asbury Park Vegan.
Oh, okay, cool.
That's neat.
Awesome, yeah.
Someone on Instagram already had the Asbury Park Vegan.
Is that right?
Yeah.
You're the real Asbury
You should
Park
track
vegan
them now. Do you know who that is?
I don't.
All
I
right.
don't. No, but they had it before me, so
I like AP Veg. It's fun.
it's
I like-
quicker.
yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
It's better for Instagram, I would say, right? Rather than having like
I like to
super
make
long
really long names that you run out of like space.
Sprout
so
Everywhere
you-
events.
Yeah, so you have to like cut off like some vowels.
Every time that we have to post something on Facebook where I'm including
really
the
like-
sprouteverywhereevents.com, I'm like making sure that I don't spell it wrong because
I
it's
always
very
put
easy to spell
capitals
wrong.
in, but it's not on Facebook. But when I have to tell someone over the phone what my email address is,
Yeah.
that's when I'm like,
That's why I kept
I've made a huge
the
mistake.
Marissa at NJ Veg Fest. That's the
Yeah.
only reason why, honestly.
Yeah.
Because I like Sprout
everything
Everywhere
has their
events.
everything has their problems.
Yeah,
6
that's
o'clock.
true.
Thanks, Ming. 6 o'clock, February 27th. Game Changers.
Oh, sweet. Oh,
Yeah.
Ming brought it up.
Okay.
Okay, that's awesome. That's great. And you can
Alright.
find more information about this on Jules' page.
Yeah.
All right. That's pretty neat.
Cool. Yeah, very good.
Yeah.
All right.
But yes, I mean, so Game Changers is awesome.
Yeah.
But I think people can and maybe people can find a space to debate the health part of it all they want, and that's fine. And like maybe even people can like find a way to debate like the sustainability part of it. But like the back to what I was saying before, the humanity piece of it, what is there even a debate about?
Well, that's the thing. The friend I was just mentioning, he was doing it for health reasons. Game Changers is all about health.
Yeah.
That's the health aspect of it all. In my book, whatever hurts less animals, great. But
Same.
But yeah, like whenever we would have our debates in the past, it would always just end with, well, my reasoning though is different than your reasoning, and we'll never, if that's not your reasoning too, we don't see eye to eye. Like,
Right.
So if it's hurting animals, that's just where it ends for me.
Same.
So
Absolutely. Same.
hurting them, unnecessarily.
Unnecessarily, yeah. So I had somebody a couple days ago ask me, well, you being vegan and everything, you're still contributing to animal deaths because in like the fields where the
Right.
vegetables and the grains are grown, mice die and gophers and like whatever. But like, I want to participate in that in the absolute least I possibly can, like without dying, right? So it doesn't. Like, and that was kind of like an argument against veganism that he had. And I'm like, come on. Like, it doesn't have to be
If that's the best
all
you
or
got.
nothing. Yeah, if that's the best you got, then like it's not really working.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that's valid at all.
But there's always another reason or another,
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, the facts are out there. They're getting more out there everywhere you look. So
It's just like a level of acceptance, I think, that has to go on, like slowly,
yeah.
We had Kurt from Freaking Vegan on here once, and like I think the way he put it is kind of pretty good. He said it's a big ship and it's going to take a lot to turn it around.
Yep.
Ah,
So-
that is pretty good.
Yeah,
Kurt.
yeah, Kurt.
That's
Sage
pretty good.
Kurt.
Yeah, he is a sage,
He is
right?
a sage.
Man, all like the new vendors that come on board, I'm sure you know very well.
Oh, yeah, you should talk to Kurt from Freaking Vegan. Oh,
Yeah, he
we
gives people
do.
really solid advice, and sometimes it's not always like nice and fluffy, which is sometimes what
And
people
it's
need
not
to hear.
always what people want to hear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he's so
So-
generous with his time.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, he's
Amazing.
really amazing. So actually, to parlay right into that, so Jules does a lot of work for us with New Jersey Veg Fest, with vendor recruiting and things of that nature, which you've
do.
been really awesome with.
Thanks.
So, so if anybody is even thinking of, getting more information about our events, like, does your business work with our events? Is it a good fit? Like, whatever the case is, like, we're 100% open to hearing what you're about and what you're hoping to bring and what you're doing. And the person to get in contact with is Jules.
Yes, Jules at NewJerseyVegFest.com.
New Jersey.
NJVegFest.com.
That NJ Veg Fest, and that's the, yeah.
Yeah.
.com.
Yeah.
Or they could probably message you right on the Instagram or
Yeah.
the face. Either way.
Happy to
There are
answer
many ways
questions.
to
Yeah.
get in touch with Jules.
It's so fun though, and the community that it's created for small businesses. I mean, when we were talking about blasting a business on, if they make a mistake, blasting a business on social media.
Yeah.
After doing this work, with all the small businesses that we deal with, that's really the main reason why I'm like, I just tell if you have a problem, tell them. But I don't think you need to broadcast it.
No.
Unless it was, an egregious,
It would have to be a unique
malicious,
situation, I feel.
But yeah, that's one of my favorite parts, of course, aside from
It is really inspiring. I don't think there's a single small business or vendor or even like nonprofit, of course, or anybody that we've ever like had as part of our events or even